Fibro TV, making positive connections in the chronic illness community. You're listening to the Daily Dose of Health and Wellness with Jen Reynolds.
Fibro TV, making positive connections in the chronic illness community.
My body hurts.
The information contained on fibrotv.com is meant for information and entertainment purposes only. Any information via audio, video, or print material should in no way replace any advice or direction given to you from your personal physician or medical caregiver. Please consult your physician for specific treatment options.
My headache hurts. I've tried aspirin, Advil, extra strength, Tylenol and such. Nothing seems to kill the pain except drinking.
Hello, my name is Jen Reynolds, creator and founder of Fibro TV. Today we're on the Daily Dose of Health and Wellness, episode number 17, and we're going to be talking about if where we live can affect our pain levels. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast. Sure, it's not just me who cringes at the sight of the weatherman saying, "There's a storm coming in." The weather definitely does affect us when we have chronic pain. Barometric pressures do have an effect on our pain levels. Believe it or not, there's very little scientific research and evidence linking seasonal changes to pain. Of course, this development goes against the grain of theories that suggest drops in barometric pressure lead to increased joint inflammation or even patients being able to predict the weather before it even arrives. While many medical professionals may be hesitant to confirm such statements as truth, what is generally agreed upon is that patients do see their doctors about symptoms related to weather changes. Most chronic pain patients do a lot better when there's low humidity and higher temperatures. They seem to have a little bit more pain when it's cold outside or damp. So does this mean that the climate that you live in can actually help your pain or make your pain worse? Newland Jameson, PhD, a professor in the Department of Psychiatry and Anesthesiology at Harvard Medical School and a researcher who has studied weather effects on chronic pain patients, did research that looked for an association between weather and chronic pain in 4 cities: San Diego, Nashville, Boston, and Worcester, a Massachusetts city with much cooler temperatures than Boston, he said. Among all the people interviewed about their chronic pain, 2/3 said they were pretty sure that the weather seemed to affect their pain. Most of them reported that they could actually feel the changes even before the weather changed. In other words, they could feel some increased pain the day before the storm even came. There's still no full agreement among scientists that weather causes pain or if a specific mechanism is at fault, Jameson said, but there are plausible theories. One leading theory points to changes in air pressure. Although many people say their pain worsens with damp, rainy weather, research has shown that it's not the cold wind, rain, or snow. The thing that affects people most is barometric pressure changes. Barometric pressure is the weight of the atmosphere that surrounds us. If you imagine the tissues surrounding the joints to be like balloons, high barometric pressure that pushes against the body from the outside will keep tissue from expanding. But barometric pressure often drops before bad weather sets in. This lower air pressure pushes less against the body, allowing tissue to expand. And those expanded tissues can put pressure on the joint. It's very microscopic and we can hardly notice, except that we have these sensations, Jameson said. For whatever reason, the nerves are just hypersensitive and they just keep firing based on what you do or not do for any reason at all. But if there's some expansion internally, in other words, the body can either expand or contract based on outside pressure changes, then that's going to affect how pain is perceived and how it is signaled. The link between pain and weather changes remains hypothetical. Research has come to mixed conclusions, Jameson said. All the results are not very clean. Meaning, there are people who say the weather doesn't affect their pain, and then there's others that do say it does affect their pain. So, should you move to Florida where it's warm and humid, or Arizona where it's hot and dry? People with chronic pain, if they could get out as much and it's so cold all the time or rainy or snowy, then they think, boy, I'd like to go someplace where the weather isn't quite so dramatic. But it's not the weather that causes the pain, it's actually the barometric changes. So no matter where you live, if the weather's gonna change, you're gonna feel it. It doesn't matter if you're in a warm climate or a cold climate. If it's gonna change, it's gonna change. So if you're gonna look for a place to live, it should be a place where there's very little weather changes. But you gotta realize, I moved from California to Arizona, and I could tell you the weather here is hot and dry. I do extremely well in the hot and dry weather. But when the monsoon season comes in and we have rain off and on every day throughout the month of August, I am in a lot of pain. So you can't escape it anywhere. If you have chronic pain, you have chronic pain. So what are your experiences with weather changes and your pain levels? Do you have more pain when the weather's getting ready to change? Do you have more pain when the weather's bad? Is it when it's hot or when it's cold that you have more pain? Go ahead and leave a comment underneath this podcast on our Facebook page, and let's help one another out and figure out what weather causes more pain for each of us. I'm sure because everybody's unique, we might get a lot of unique answers, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of us that can relate to each other as well.
My body hurts.
Well, that concludes today's Daily Dose of Health and Wellness episode number 17. If you want to join us over at Facebook, we're at facebook.com/FibroTV. You can also follow us over at Twitter and tweet us. That's twitter.com/FibroTV. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/FibroTV. We're also on Google+. Go ahead and go over to Google Plus and do a search for Fibro TV, and you can hook up with us over there. And also make sure you check out our very own website at www.fibrotv.com. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope everybody has a great Thursday night. Until next time.
From my colon to my spleen, and my liver's turning green, my stomach hurts.
Thank you for listening to The Daily Dose of Health and Wellness. The Daily Dose of Health and Wellness is written, produced, and edited by Jen Reynolds and released every Thursday, right here at FibroTV.com.
My mommy is sick, but she's the best mommy in the entire world, and I just want her to get better.
Fibro TV, making positive connections in the chronic illness community. You can find us over at www.fibrotv.com.